minute, fella. Look here.
Stand by.
One for C-Lab, two for Draw Eagle, three for Wolverine to round out the trio. In this episode, everybody dies.
Broadcasting live from inside the power band. This is the blah. In this episode, everybody dies. I'm your host, Kevin, along with my single companion, Chad.
Looking to mingle. What's up?
What's up? Jar Ego is not available this week, so it's another twofer, and it's another World War II movie. No, it's not. It's not a World War II movie.
It's either World War II or espionage. That's all we ever do.
There you go. So we're doing an espionage movie, and we chose to do the 2001 Spygame, starring Robert Redford and Brad Pitt. And his son Brad Pitt and Charlotte Rampling, who we love, and
Stannis Baratheon from Game of Thrones.
And also the guy that played what's his face in Gladiator.
Uh-huh. And Biggs from Star Wars Episode 4.
Ooh, stop. Really?
Yeah, the CIA director.
What?
Early nugget here on the show. Garrick Hagon.
Mind blown, dude.
His name is a Star Wars name. His actual name is Garrick Hagon. He sounds like he should have a fucking cloak, a lightsaber, and a neckbeard.
Wait, who is Garrick Hagon, dude? Wait a second. Wait,
fucking Biggs, bro.
I know, but who was he in this?
Red 3, standing by. He was the he's the CIA director that comes in at the end. He's like, I'm going to sit in on this one, boys.
Oh, the guy with the glasses who looks like he's got a vitamin D deficiency.
he looks like a Sith Lord, to be fair. Yeah.
Okay. And what is the actor's name? Sorry.
Garrick Hagon.
Garrick Hagon. That sounds like the name of a Lord of the Rings character, dude. Jesus.
It does, man.
That guy played Biggsy?
Yeah, man.
Wow. He does look like a Sith Lord, dude. How about that, man?
He's got a sweet 70s stash in Star Wars, too. So, mustache
totally
corner
does.
for Star Wars. There aren't any mustaches in this fucking movie. Like my high level is that this is one of my favorite movies, guilty pleasure movies, and there's not a single fucking mustache in this fucking movie.
It's shameful. And it's weird because there's no mustaches in Star Wars except for Biggs. Like, he's the only character ever to have a stash.
That's because he wouldn't let anyone else have a mustache. He would fucking knock him out.
He would.
He'd just be like, go shave that now.
No, he'd take him out with his T-16 while he was hunting womp rats, bro. Whoa! We also had the EBD favorite, Michael Paul Chan, who played famously
Data's dad,
and he was the Korean shopkeeper in Falling Down, and all
Douglas
of
got
these
all racist about, yeah.
Right, with the 50 cent for the freaking pack of gum, dude, totally, or whatever. Yeah, so good times, man. Spygame. Is that really your only high level, or did you have more?
Yeah, pretty much. No, I mean,
okay.
Like my high level is, I think, because I have such a soft spot for this movie, I really felt the difference in what happens when you view it for a show. Like, I was way more kind of analytical, intentionally saying anal there, because you're just like, oh, is this actually good? This scene is really problematic, you know. I'm gonna get my notebook. But it was good, dude. I like it. It's like it fits firmly into the kind of America fuck yeah genre, but also it's kind of like when we talked about Clear and Present Danger, where it's like it's America fuck yeah, and it's also kind of like making the States look like the douchebag that it is. So it's a bit of a mixed bag in that regard, but I find that makes it more plausible. And
yeah, okay.
you know what I mean? Like, well, not that it makes the movie plausible, but it makes the like it's not rah-rah all the way. It's not, you know, Team America World Police commercial kind of thing.
Definitely not that. It's not like, go ahead, finish your
No, that
thought,
I mean,
sorry.
and then like it's what everyone it's what every youngling thinks espionage is, you know, and it's, you know, not. You know, espionage generally is just a bunch of nerds sitting around a computer, like putting SQL queries into a computer and,
right,
you know, bagging the wrong guy or some shit. But I love the romanticism of, you know, Bond-esque espionage. It's an American Bond movie for me.
kind of, yeah. I think Clear and Present Danger is definitely America. Fuck yeah. This is America. Fuck yeah, but more like this, more like, oh, America. Fuck yeah. This is what we really do, bro.
Yeah.
This is serious. You
Freedom
know,
isn't free, bro.
That's more the vibe this movie has. It's like taking itself a little too seriously. You know, like, I don't know.
It's an 11 and 11s is like the attraction is the guys that get one up over the bosses, you know, and like you put yourself in their shoes and like, I'd outsmart them too because I'm clever, you know, and it's just like, no, you wouldn't, bro, but okay.
Yeah, okay, whatever.
Enjoy the movie.
No,
you know?
right.
I would have totally handled that situation differently in Beirut. No, you wouldn't.
No, you would not.
If I was running down an alleyway being shot at by snipers, I would do this instead.
Yeah, no, you wouldn't because you wouldn't be there.
You'd have your fucking head popped off in 2 seconds. You reread.
Because you are a fucking marshmallow. Yeah, exactly, dude. Fucking Riri, totally. All right, so my high level is similarly to Chad. I have seen this movie many, many, many times. I own a copy of this movie. I just fired up a second watch a little while ago, just to kind of brush up. I watched it a few days ago. This is, little nostalgia. This is kind of an interesting movie, and I definitely had a different kind of take on it when I watched it this time, maybe because of what you said. I don't know. And definitely some of Nick Marv's hatred, I think, is like leaked into my brain. And
of Redford?
I don't know if it's that or what. I found Redford a little in this viewing, and I'll get more into that later. It's definitely a good movie. It's definitely kind of an American James Bond-esque movie. It's Tony Scott, dude. You know, it's like Tony Scott, bro.
What the fuck was going on with that
Romance.
dude, man?
Well, I mean, he's awesome, man. You know,
he's great.
So,
I just don't understand the suicide thing, but whatever.
Wait, what suicide thing?
He jumped off a bridge in 2012. It's like, okay, there you go, man.
Tony did? He did?
Yeah.
I never heard that. I didn't know that.
Yeah, no, he jumped off a bridge, left a note, jumped off a bridge, and that was that. Like,
wow.
Okay.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah, it really sucks. Because he did some excellent films, dude.
Yeah, he's great, dude. He's got some awesome stuff.
Yeah. So
Days of fucking Thunder, bro. Only
Days
beaten
of
by
Thunder,
Battlefield
bro.
Earth. The only movie better than the only movie better than
Tom
Days of
Cruise
Thunder
and
is Battlefield
Yondu.
Earth. Yeah, dude. Dude, Yondu, I love.
When Tom Cruise meets Yondu, the worlds collide.
And a random ranger from Australia.
So anyway, yeah, I'm definitely excited to explore this movie because it's sort of an interesting. There's a lot going on here in this movie, and it's got that very like kind of Tony Scott frenetic kind of pacing going on that I think is a Tony Scott thing, but I could be wrong.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's get into it, man.
Let's do it.
Jabba dabba dabba dub dub dub.
You fucking Jawa? What was that?
I don't know, random Star Wars character.
I like it. Houdini.
Yeah, dude, totally. Yeah, there you go. Where do we start?
I mean, I don't want to start with Redford, but like, I mean, he's.
I was trying not to do that too, but
he's like punchable in like the best way. I think Nick Marv finds him punchable in the most punchable way, and I find him punchable in the best way. Like he's just.
How's that? Explain.
He's just such a fucking. He's like a resting prick face, you know. Like there's a resting bitch face. He just has this like smirkiest, prickiest face that you could like. he looks like one of the fucking California raisins, dude, and he has just got such a prick face. I just love how prickish he is. He's just had this like, fuck you face, and I love it. His fuck you face is so well used in this movie, Hey, you want to come to my retirement party later? He's like, oh, I thought you didn't like me.
Yeah. He's so like, you know what it is? And he's so like, he's like the cool guy that works at the
he's
CIA.
so cool.
Like everybody else has a vitamin D deficiency. They're anal retentive. They all have lumps of coal in their ass. He's the cool guy. You know what I mean?
Cool.
And like, there's so many bad little bits that he does, like the phone call in the ops center, yep, yeah, well, okay, on that reservation, yep, hang on, this will just take a second. I was like, dude, come on, man, do better. Like, put more effort into it. I was like, come on, dude, so yeah, you're right, he is like that. So just to be clear for the folks at home, Clear and Present Danger espionage movie has giblet chins. This espionage movie has
California raisins.
And I think that you're right. He's a raisin. He's kind of got that shit-eating grin, He's kind of the too cool guy for the FBI. The CIA, rather. And I don't know. It was grating on me a little bit in this particular watching, or maybe I noticed it, or maybe, again, like I said, Nick Marv just got in my head with his deep hatred. In fact, Nick was so emphatic about his dislike for Robert Redford that he didn't leave a comment like he normally would on Instagram. He didn't DM us like he normally would on Instagram. He personally recorded something in his home studio and emailed it to the various members.
Once he caught a whiff of it?
Yeah, members of the EBD staff to express his disdain. So we'll have to play that clip.
Send it over. I haven't heard it.
Oh, you haven't? I'll forward it to you. Great soundtrack.
What's up, EBD podcast and listeners? How you doing, Wolverine? What's up, Slab? What's up, Head in the Jar Higo? How's everybody doing? This is Nick Marv of the Rolling Stallones. And you guys wanted me to talk about Robert Redford, knowing how much I hate him. So, rather than talk to you, I've written an open letter to Robert Redford. Dear Robert Redford, you saddlebag testicle face piece of garbage. Please allow me these few precious moments to transmit my rage in the direction of your undeserved existence. Your saggy grill is like my grandma's old change purse. That's why your teeth look like crusty-ass Necco wafers that only octogenarians buy. Is this why geriatric harlots throw their bloomers at you? I can only imagine that your flaps slap in the wind sounded like a group of fat rednecks doing jumping jacks. Your mummified countenance makes Ian McShane and Gary Busey look young in comparison. If a child ever came to my house on Halloween wearing your likeness as a mask, I would punt kick him in the chest so hard he would travel back in time and land on your head while filming Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, thus eliminating you from the lexicon of Hollywood forever. The only film I willingly will watch you in, admittedly, is The Natural. I can't argue that it's a great story, but you were saved by the Oakano of Wilford Brimley, the awesomeness of Robert Duvall, and the appearance of Joe Don Baker. We could probably intercut Arnold Schwarzenegger in there with the use of AI, and you would not be missed. Otherwise, your movies are trash, except for The Last Castle, and it's only because the masterful James Gandolfini saved your sorry ass. Do all your co-stars have to sign a waiver in case they injure themselves from carrying your scraggly cadaver through the movie? You have one method of acting. Smug. You got no personality aside from that. I believe your true colors shown in the movie Indecent Proposal, in which you played some decrepit rich guy paying women to sleep with you. If you were not a movie star, I think you'd be at some backwater gas station cleaning windshields, chewing tobacco, and talking about the good old days. But no. You turned that pretentious entitlement into the Sundance Film Festival. You turd-faced goon. You're not cool. You're not a man's man. You're a sandy-haired simp. I will hire a team of nerdy scientists with lab coats and pocket protectors just so they could build me a time machine where I could hunt you down in the past and fight you in your supposed prime. In fact, I'd catch you in the set of Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, and I'd whip you like a feral hyena with a saddlebag across your face just out of irony and hope that a vortex appears that sucks you up in it. And EBD, screw you guys. Spy games? Spy games? Come on, man. Prayer the roller boys would have been a better use of your time and resources. I pray that the citizens of Val Verde don't gather in dark corners of basements and plan a revolt on you guys. Nah, I'm just kidding. But seriously, I can't stand Robert Redford. But thank you for giving me this opportunity to share my feelings. I feel good, man, just like I took a big dump. Appreciate you guys, man. Have a good episode. And that's all I gotta say. This is Nick Marv of the Rolling Stallone saying thank you for this time and let everybody know that me, Expertise, and Goji Rock working hard on Volume 6 of the Rolling Stallones Boombox Emperors coming out later this year. Peace, fellas.
So that's what Nick Marv thinks. There's some fucking gems in there.
Yeah, sure are.
I just, it's worth it considering. I think what were we doing? Snatch? What were we doing with those guys where that came up? I think it was probably Snatch. God damn, that's just, I love the level of hatred that he has for the fucking bastard. It's pretty funny.
Probably Driven, but
it might have been Driven. Maybe he was just mad because we made him watch Driven.
Probably.
But I think, the punchability of Redford is part of what makes it work here, I think. He's meant to be very punchable, He's so fucking punchable that by the end of it, Bishop wants to punch him,
Yeah, yeah.
And then, he pulls one over on the nerds in the conference room at the end. And out the fucking door in his Porsche 912,
Totally that's out, dude. Definitely. With the other guy's ID card.
So I don't know. I feel like that's a place to start.
It's not like I'm never gonna watch the movie again now because of this, but I do find him. Yeah, he's definitely kind of annoying. And
it's my view of the movie has changed too. I would say this. Before A Day After Tomorrow or fucking The Day Before Yesterday or the Emily Blunt Tom Cruise movie, Forever Never Dies, Tomorrow Never Fucking Lives. Before that movie, this was my guilty pleasure movie.
Oh my God, dude.
Live, Die, Repeat.
Edge of Tomorrow.
Edge of Tomorrow.
Live,
there you go.
Die, Repeat. Wait, before that, this was
before
your
Edge of Tomorrow.
Movie?
This is like a guilty pleasure movie, it's like I watch this fucker whenever it comes on, no matter where it starts in the movie.
Yes,
and I feel like it's kind of maybe the shine's off it a little bit now, but whatever. A little bit. It's still a fun movie.
Yeah, it's still fun, dude. I mean, I was enjoying watching it a second time today, so it's not, like it's any less enjoyable. I just find Redford kind of more annoying than I did before.
Sure.
Because he just thinks he's cool. And he's so I don't know, man.
He
he's
fucking
also
knows he's cool.
He knows he's cool, but he's also a little too matter of fact about everything. It's bro,
totally.
You're doing espionage, and he's just yeah, hey, okay, cool, man. All right, let's go over here and do this,
What's the op you're running?
Yeah.
Sideshow? No, cool.
I know, and all of his lame techniques.
Bit of trade craft, something you learn in the field.
Yeah. Kind of old school,
Okay, man. He's gonna do the fucking missing thumb trick. He's learn that one in the field. I'm okay, man.
Yeah. So anyway, Redford, kind of annoying. I find his little sort of tricks that he uses around the office to be I don't know if I just noticed it now, or his performance is dated, or the dialogue is dated, but like I found
the restaurant
his
one,
little
dude.
tricks to be a little
Like,
hackneyed, you know? What?
Man, the jacket in the kitchen. Threat.
Oh God!
He's like, how did you see him? Ding, ding, ding. Reflection. And Brad Pitt's like, whoa, dude.
Whoa.
Whoa. Man, the green jacket. Threat. Only to the waitress.
That was the that was the part I was watching right before I hit pause to turn on this shit.
Oh, dude, it's so funny. I love it.
Oh my God! Yeah. It was great.
Always carry a pack of smokes. Great icebreaker.
A pack of smokes and a lighter.
See that window up there? Yeah. I want you in that window the next 5 minutes.
Having coffee and shaking hands with a guy that owns the place. Okay. And then I love like
You see that girl? See that girl over there? Solicit some information. Oh,
Yeah.
happily.
Yeah.
You told her 4 truths and a lie. Now they all have to be true. And he's like, oh, hang on, let me get my notebook out. That's a good one.
Yeah, totally.
Your training is finished. It was a very jump
Now you
flip.
just told her that you have a wife, you're gay, and you have no fashion sense.
Those things now need to be true.
And I love how they're just like sitting on a park bench, like revealing this stuff to everybody, dude. You know, it's like when he offers him the job at the embassy, dude. You know, like when we start going down the, you know, how he got Tom Bishop road, you know, and he's like. He offers him the job, and then he's like, yeah, if you want, you could go home. I could probably arrange to have your tour of duty ended in San Diego. But of course, you know, this conversation never happened.
Never happened.
And it's like, dude, you're standing on a fucking open stairwell in a crowded party, and you're worried about the this conversation never happened part, dude. Everybody can fucking hear you, man. Oh, my God. Come on, dude. Come on.
Gripes at Kev.
Yeah. Gripes, oh, Kev. They're not just for Kevs anymore, folks.
Now with more Kev.
Now with twice as much Kev. Yeah, good stuff. So
it's very I don't know, G.I. Joe or something. Like it's
G.I. Joe, what?
well,
No,
G.I. Joe is like so
like this.
Like this, yeah. Does
Not
that
really.
help?
Wait.
No, I mean like it's
Kinda.
like I'm trying to form like Voltron. I will form the head.
A coherent thought. Okay, go ahead.
Just it's like G.I. Joe is believable to a 5-year-old who likes G.I. You know, you watch G.I. Joe and you're like, this is what soldiers are like, you know, and it's like, no. And so
And
I feel like this is
to
that.
nerds
This is like
that act like 5-year-olds.
exactly. I have, you know,
Right?
I have the mannerisms of a
Neckbeard
5-year-old.
nerds. Yeah. So we're 5 years old.
It's entertainment, dude. You know, like G.I. Joe is obviously kids' entertainment, but like this is just pure entertainment. It's just like bro-y spy tropes, you know, like the appeal of like a Tom Clancy kind of thing, or like this kind of thing, or Bond. Like the appeal of Bond, I think, really does it. Where it's like Bond is fucking retarded, but it's awesome. You know, like
It is
Bond
retarded.
is nothing real about Bond at all.
No,
Well,
nothing
I love the
whatsoever.
shit out of watching some Bond movies because it's just fun, and it's like a dude that you put yourself in the suit, and the dude gets the girl and saves the bad guys, and you know is a great shot and drives fancy cars. Like it's just a, you know, it's dress ups for fucking dudes, you know.
Yeah, I mean, look, I really enjoy the flashback scenes. Most of all in this movie, like it's almost like there's two movies. It's like the flashback thing, which is like, you know, Tom Bishop becoming getting recruited out of Nam and all that kind of thing. And I the only problem I had with all of that is that he looks exactly the same age in the Suchow prison at the end of the movie. Or whatever, the beginning and the end of the movie that he does in every other part of the movie. So I was like, okay, whatever. We'll suspend a little disbelief there, I guess, because it does take place over the course of like 15 to 20 years. Maybe I can get behind that. But I definitely like those parts of the movie better better than the parts in the CIA ops room and in the office building or CIA headquarters. And it's weird because I was reading a nugget that Tony Scott was saying that, you know, the parts in the ops room were the hardest parts to do because, you know, you're really relying on the skill of the actors to do it. And I think
it's so static.
Yeah, it is very static, and it's where you really need the dialogue to be good, and you really need everything to be tight. And I think that's where this sort of new paradigm gripe comes in that I'm experiencing watching it now, is that I think the dialogue could have been a little bit better, certainly for Robert Redford. I think the other guys all did it pretty well, but I feel like it kind of becomes more about Robert Redford being cool than, and it takes the focus off what the ultimate goal in the movie is. The whole point of the story is him doing everything he can on his last day to save this guy, right?
Yeah, break his
That's
code.
what he's doing. Like, that's exactly what he's doing, is he's saving this guy. And you're saying what? That's breaking his code?
Well, yeah, it's like he says, like, send flowers, fuck them, no, and then he breaks his own code. So like it's even more like going against character, which is he's had a transformation as a person. Da 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 da. So like it's exactly what you're saying. Plus,
okay, yeah, sure, and I can get behind that. And it's kind of like, you know, Tom's a. I mean, I finally got that he wasn't an actual CIA caseworker who would like work at Langley. He was, you know, recruited in the field. You know what I mean? He wasn't like he was like a field operative, you know, like he like, I don't know why I never caught that before, because one of the guys in the ops room said, shit, hold on.
So one of the guys says that he's not filled up.
Yes. One of the guys says, he goes, he said,
he's like, you had assets. He was a something.
Yeah. He said, he said, you let a field, or a confidential asset. You said a confidential, like a field agent, you let them acquire assets and run assets. And he was like, oh yeah, one day he would have made a great caseworker, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, I don't know why I never caught that before. So I guess it was, you know, it's kind of like I'm going to give you like a battlefield promotion kind of thing, you know, that sort of same kind of feel, I guess, maybe, but somewhat way looser, I think, you know. Hey, you look like you make a good CIA agent. What's your name? Come on over here.
Come on over.
It's like, okay. Yes. Okay. So, I feel like Robert Redford's cool takes away from that. You know what I mean? And it's easy in this movie to get bogged down in the details. Like, you get really wrapped up in the person you have no idea who this is still to this day, even though this is one of your all-time favorite movies, Catherine McCormick.
I just don't remember who she was in Braveheart. That's all. I know she's in it. Like, I just don't remember. She's great.
Anyway, so
I love her.
Yeah, no, Elizabeth Hadley, she's fantastic, and like it's very easy to get caught up in all of the details of what's going on in the flashbacks, dude. Like, I find even still, I'm like, the flashback parts are so interesting, man. I'm just like, oh, what's going on with this? What's going on with that? Like, what's up with that? You know what I mean? Like, you get caught up in that, and I think between that and Robert Redford's cool is why you kind of forget what the whole point of the movie is. And the whole point of the movie is like, we're trying to get Tom out of this like awful hellhole Chinese prison.
Yeah.
You know, we're trying to get Wong from Doctor Strange to go in there in an ambulance and rescue him.
Is that who it was?
You know what I mean? And
I love it.
Yeah. That was who his that's who his sniper scout
his
was.
sidekick
too.
was.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
guy with the his sniping spotter.
Yeah, his sniping spotter, exactly. But he also makes an appearance at the end there when they go in to rescue him.
Yeah,
anyway,
yeah.
So I just again trying to kind of like walk the high road for a second. Like, I think that all those things kind of take away or make you kind of forget. And I don't think it's in like a blundering way. We don't know how to make a movie. We don't know how to tell a story kind of way. Because, you know, it's like Tony Scott, like this guy's made excellent movies, dude. You know, True
No
Romance, Days of Thunder,
Days of Thunder, man.
Days of Yondu. You know what I mean? So Tony Scott's a great filmmaker. There's no question about it. He's definitely more of like, I always felt like kind of more of an action movie guy. I don't think many people would deny that. And this is an action movie, but there's a lot of great drama in this movie. Yeah. And I think that like, I don't get the sense that it was like, oh, we don't know how to make a movie and this happened. It's just that there's a lot going on in this story. And between that and the quality of the flashbacks and the, you know, the Robert Redford thing, it just, you almost lose sight of the greater sort of the end game goal in the movie, which is to get Tom Bishop out of prison in China.
Suchow prison.
Let him.
Pangu Islands, Scander Wiley's outfit.
Yeah. Dude, if that's your Dale Dye impression, you better work on it.
No, that wasn't Dale Dye, man. That was the guy eating the noodles, you know? He's like, you don't have clearance to be in here. He's like, I didn't have clearance. I wouldn't be in here. Pangu Islands.
And then what's his name? The anal retentive guy comes in and he's like, oh, yeah, it was Mir. He was inviting me to his party. Yeah. I don't think you're invited. I don't think you're invited.
I fucking love that, dude.
Oh, my God. Right? Or what about like, I love like his neighbor down the hallway. He just like barrels into his office. Oh, yeah, they took my secure line away. Can I use yours? It's a classified call.
Classified.
Can you get out? It's classified. Can you get out of your own office, please, so I can make this call? Oh, hey, here's your ID. Let me just pocket that. Here's this. Let me pocket that. I was like, come on, dude. Give me a break, man.
I think to your point about the whole point of the movie, the Redford getting Bishop out stuff, like that is the heart of the movie. And, you know, like, I don't know. I suppose, like, I always took the movie from Brad Pitt's perspective, Bishop's perspective, as the young guy who comes in, gets trained up, has ideals, and it slowly gets eroded, you know, falls for the girl, but then it's like, is she, you know, working for another agency? Like, what the fuck? It all falls apart. His op blows up, you know, like all kinds of stuff's going on. But what did you say?
Is she hot enough?
Is she hot enough?
I'm Brad Pitt. Is she hot enough? I don't know.
So I always took it from his perspective, and like he ends up being like, "Fuck you, Nathan," and you know goes out on his own, and then decides he wants to save her from the prison. You know, presumably years later, and
right.
It really is much more about Nathan, because like the movie is just him in the present, quote unquote, trying to solve the problem. Whereas Brad Pitt exists solely in the flashbacks. He's a story being told by Nathan Muir.
Right.
And then like, you know, Nathan having that like don't save anyone attitude, fuck everyone. And then I suppose like really, you know, picking it apart, like from the beginning of the movie till the end of the movie, Nathan Muir has changed as a person to the point where he is helping from the beginning. So he actually doesn't really go through any change in the present. The change happens from the time that Bishop tells him to go fuck himself after the Beirut bombing to the present, you know. So, despite the fact that it's James Bondy and America Fuck Yeah, and Redford has, you know, punchable face throughout, like there are some interesting layers in here, you know, like.
Oh, dude, many. I'm.
The development of those two characters kind of changing their tune and going from being hardened, you know, intel people to wanting to help, you know, like Hadley or Bishop is kind of cool. And I think maybe that's where like a Bond movie is just popcorn, you know, because like Bond starts the movie Bond and he ends the movie Bond usually, you know, and the only time that's changed is the most recent Bond movies that actually have backstory, you know.
You mean Tomorrow Never Dies Forever?
Yeah, exactly.
That one was we did. It had Freddie Mercury in it, and it was all about the poison flowers.
Welcome to my garden of poison flowers.
Okay, bro.
I grew up in a world of poison flowers.
So I've made a secret base full of poison flowers. It's very
And I
ridiculous.
wrote a song about it. It's
Come on,
called
here
Fat
it
Bottom
goes.
Girls.
Right? Okay, so I do think there's a lot of layers here, and the more that now that we're sort of unboxing, it's becoming apparent to me that there are a lot of layers here. And I think this is definitely way more, there's way more substance here than in a Bond movie. There's no question about that. I think those are kind of different kind of movies. I read a stupid nugget on Let's Make Nuggets Not Fun, my favorite app, that was saying that this was, you know, like an American Bond movie. And it's like, dude, I hate stupid
That Tony Scott said
throwaway
that or
comments
something?
like that. No, not Tony Scott. Some other idiot said it. And I
Okay.
don't think it's true at all, man. I don't think it's an American Bond movie.
Well,
It
yeah,
doesn't,
it's totally
it
structurally
doesn't
different.
really,
You know,
it is totally structurally
Yeah.
different. It doesn't play anything like a Bond movie at all, man. You know, there's always, I would say the Daniel Craig Bonds are probably the most serious Bonds.
and they're also
Of
the
them
most
all,
non-Bond Bond movies.
And wait, what?
I say Casino Royale, excluding Casino Royale, Daniel Craig Bond movies are the most non-Bond Bond movies, like in terms of structure and backstory and like lore.
Oh, I got you.
Like,
yes,
that,
and
know?
and also the fact that it's all one giant story.
Yeah,
Like it
yeah.
started at
Multiple
Casino
movie
Royale and it
arc. Yeah,
continued.
yeah.
Yes, and each movie is referenced in the next movie, and I like that. There's a lot of things I
I'm here
like
for
about
it,
those
yeah.
Daniel Craig. Yeah, I'm here for it too, man. I like that, and I like that it had somewhat of a little bit more serious tone. I actually think Timothy Dalton was the probably the most serious Bond or actor to play it in a more
Sure.
serious tone until Daniel Craig came along. And but that all that bullshit aside, I think that, you know, yes, this movie is structurally different. It's nothing like a Bond movie, and so
I think
that
it tickles the
comparison
same
is-
spot though. It's not a Bond movie.
It
It's not
def- it-
structurally
it- well,
a Bond movie, but
it definitely tickles the
spot.
same. It does, but like I can rattle off 20 movies that do that. Then,
Yeah,
like
sure.
Clear and Present Danger,
Born
like the
Identity.
Bourne movies, like this, like this, like that. But
Spies Like Us.
Spies Like Us. But I think I'm about to have a hard drive crash.
I want to make that like, boop, the Windows error sound just fucking came up.
Boom. What is that noise where it goes boom?
Yeah, that one.
Your hard drive is crashing.
It's structurally different. It tickles the same spot.
Structurally different. It tickles the same spot. The movies are not different. There are a lot of layers here. I was driving at some greater point.
I think where you were
It'll come
probably
back
ending
to
up
me.
is like, yeah, it tickles the same spot, but there's 55 movies that do that. So like, it's kind of a moot point.
No, that's not. I got sidetracked. I am. What you were saying about the layers was really. I was zeroing in on something about that.
Oh,
There's a
gotcha.
lot of layers. A lot of layers going on here. Like almost too many layers going on. All of the things are interesting, right? Like, and you know, even the now I would say I wouldn't have said this before on a watch because I've seen this movie probably 30 times or more. I wouldn't have said that the ops center parts or the headquarters parts are the weaker parts. Now I would say that's probably the weakest part.
Really?
Yeah, I would because I find Redford in his like just kind of buffoonery, just kind of dumb, man. You know,
I feel like it's
I'm
the
sorry.
strongest. Well,
It's-
maybe.
What you think so?
I think like one of the things that Tony Scott said was that each scene in the ops room is a different
It's like a
hand of poker.
hand. Totally, man.
Which I like, it's a good allegory for it, which I hadn't considered. So it's like, you know, each sequence in there, let's just say there's 5 sequences. Each one is a different scenario that needs to be maneuvered within. And Muir is maneuvering within, you know, making up wives and all that kind of stuff to play the room.
Yes.
And like, I appreciated, I like the playing of the room. And I like
I do
the
too.
shit that he sets up, you know, like setting up the calling, you know, Digger in Hong Kong to get the news story in. And then,
Totally.
you know, Stannis Baratheon fucking calling in a different story that counteracts that story. You know, like, I don't know. It's like a chess game, and I like it.
Wait. Oh, hold on. Go ahead. Just keep going.
No, that's it. Like, dude, there's I'll make sure it goes up this week with it. One of my favorite fucking Game of Thrones memes ever is Just a picture of Stannis Baratheon like standing out in the fucking snow in his fur armor, and he's got like a mug that says #1 dad on it, and it's like the scene after he lights his fucking dragon faced daughter on fire at the stake, like he burns his daughter at the stake. This says #1 dad on it, and I just like I fucking love it.
Dude, that's funny. Wow, dude. Oh, I didn't realize it was John Delane. Holy hell.
Who's John Delane?
I mean, Stephen Delane. His name is Stephen John.
Yeah,
Delane.
dude, completely. He is like, dude, the guy in Clear and Present Danger. I just want to drop kick in the nuts. Like, I want to go on his fucking boat and drink one of his martinis and kick him in the dick. Like the guy,
who
the fucking, you know,
Jibby?
reciprocity guy where they have the mainframe fight with fucking Han Solo in Clear and Present Danger.
Oh, Ritter.
That motherfucker is the most punchable guy. And then I was just watching this and I was like, I want to punch this guy so much more than I want to punch Ritter, dude. He is just such a.
And then you were like, oh my God, it's Stannis Baratheon.
It's Stannis
Baratheon.
I didn't catch on that it was him though. I watched the whole flick.
I didn't realize it either until I
just and saw it. So like I watched it just being like, I want to punch this guy, but
I never put it together because like in Game of Thrones, he's obviously much older and he's got a lot of facial hair, and I never put it together.
I saw that he hated Game of Thrones.
Wow.
And didn't like doing it and just took it for the money, and I love it because he just seems like such a fucking angry little ant, and he's so punchable, dude.
Well,
so
he seems like an angry ant in this movie too, so there's definitely a common thread going on.
One shot, like this bits and bobs, right? He like fucks somebody over and he just like does that little dance and he's like, I want to eat some salad, you know? Like, I'm hungry.
Totally, dude. Yes.
So if I can drive my car through the window and take him out.
There's actors in all levels of acting that are just like, I hate this. I hate that. I don't want to do that. I'm too good for that. Da, da, da. Ugh, so fucking annoying, dude.
I love it.
So Stephen Delane.
He was another layer.
I didn't realize he was another layer.
I feel like those, I like those scenes in the ops room. I don't know. I mean, maybe part of it is because it drives the story. You know, it's not just Redford anecdoting out, you know?
No, it's not. But I feel like the part that's bothering me now is Redford. Like that's what I'm saying is that while I've seen this movie a million times and I've always been like, oh yeah, that's a solid movie, dude. Great movie, great spy movie, great espionage, blah, blah, blah. Like this time I was just kind of like, you know what? Yeah, he's kind of annoying and it's kind of annoying. You know, like there's parts of it that I think, look, I'm not detracting from those scenes. Like the reason why I'm saying I feel like on this watch, I felt like they were the weakest or the weaker part of the movie is because of Redford. Again, it all comes back to Redford, Chad.
It's all coming up Redford.
No, it does. It's coming up Redford because I was just kind of like, you know, I was kind of rolling my eyes at some of the, you know, the stupid phone call thing and like some of these other things. I was just like, this is so dumb, dude. Like, no, like that was the thing. You know what I mean? Is that I was like, yes, it's a poker play, and I like the way that all plays out. It's great, dude. And all the other actors are awesome, man. You know, from Troy to Stannis Baratheon to Data's dad, you know, like everybody's awesome, dude. But then, you know, Redford sitting there with the phone call. Okay. Yeah, let's hold that reservation. Yep.
Dinner out is a go.
Yeah, dinner out is a go. Wink, wink. Come on, dude. You know, and some of the other parts that were just they felt a little hackneyed. You know what I mean? Like it was just like he was just like, yeah, I'm so cool, I can come in and do this. And it's like, yeah, but the rest of the shit around you is like some serious CIA shit. So that's not really working, dude. You know what I mean? And then he'd be like, oh, yeah, I'm just old school. That's the way it's happening.
The one that reminds me of, where he's like, hey, can I use your phone? Yeah, Johnson up in level 5 owes me 100. Can you get it off the mainframe? You know, and then he goes up. He's like, hey, Johnson, where's my 100? And the guy's like, oh.
Yeah. Totally, dude. You know, like he's like, it's almost like he's like,
it's a Chevy Chase. It's like he walks into the spy room and he's like, hey man, you got something on your shirt, and he's like, oh, and he just walks right by him.
No, dude, he's like
the guard.
He's like Austin Powers when they unfreeze him, dude, and he's still like, hey, groovy, man, where's everything from the 60s? And everybody's like, bro, it's the 90s. You know what I mean? Like, that's how it feels.
And that's kind of the point.
Know?
Part of the point of the movie is that, he's the old guard.
Yeah, but let's do it, but not make him look like a dildo.
Austin
Powers. Right? No, like, it's like, okay, I get it. He's the old guard, blah, blah, blah. But, like, okay, he doesn't have to, like, act like a douche and do these dildoian kind of things that are just kind of dumb, dude. Dildonic, subtronic, dildonic.
Dude, if I start a techno group, it's going to be called Dildonic.
That is the best thing we've ever come up with.
Well, I don't know. Douchebag
every
Warehouse
time we come up with something.
My Douchebag Warehouse is a close second.
I see it right now. MyDouchebagWarehouse.com. Like, I was like, oh yeah, that's a thing, dude. If you've got a douchebag and you don't know where to put him, call MyDouchebagWarehouse.com today. We can house not one, not two, but as many douchebags as you need.
Douchebags for miles.
Call today. 1-800-555-53.
1-800-555-DILDO.
1-800-555-douche. Anyway, so I guess what I'm saying is that, like, yes, this is the first time that some of, like, Redford's antics kind of felt a little bit hackneyed to me, and I feel like that was sort of detracting. That said, it's not like some nuclear bomb game changing situation where I'm just like, oh my God, now it's unwatchable. It's not like that. Like the whole
not quite like that.
No, I don't do that. No, I think the whole poker game kind of way that whole thing is played out is fantastic still. And, the flashbacks with Tom Bishop are great. And you're right. They're not just like Redford being anecdotal. Like sometimes it is like, and again, this is one of those parts.
We're not going to be able to get out of orbit of this one, I don't think.
Right. So what's his face? Stannis Baratheon's like, Stannis Baratheon's like, you let a contract agent be handle assets? And he was like, oh, Tom was the best. He could meet an East German guy in the morning, and by the end of the day, he'd be back in East Germany spying for us. I mean, he was so good, he could just close in a day. And he just goes on and on and on. I'm just like, dude, shut up, man. Nobody wants to hear your stupid story about East Berlin, man.
That's funny. It's actually funny that you should say that, too, because it's like...
Because that's your favorite part.
Yeah. No, the dude could be like telling that war story at a cocktail party with non-intelligence people, and they'd be like, "Whoa!"
Totally.
But like with a bunch of people in the CIA, they're just like, "What, man?" Like,
I know they're
a
like,
bunch of other CIA heads wouldn't give a fuck about your stupid story. They'd just be like, "Okay."
I know. But not only that, those guys, not only do they not give a fuck because they're not impressed because they're in the CIA, but they're also pointing out the illegalities of
like,
everything that he does. Dude, I love it.
Well, it was like the sniping thing at the beginning. He's like general fucking...
Totally. I was just about to say that.
The general, he's just like, wait, so you went in there on saying, did you have a presidential finding to kill that guy? And he's like, come on, it was... 60s, we all did crazy stuff.
Guys, No, he goes, guys, come on. We're on the clock. We're trying to get some stuff done.
I love your Redford, dude. It's so good.
It's kind of starting to turn into a Donald Moffat a little bit.
I know. I was thinking the same thing.
Right? It's gotta be, though.
I don't know, man.
How dare you
what did he say in the... I'm not taking the bait. How did he... when Brad Pitt's puking in the German bar or whatever... What fucking word? He's like, the condor is flying at sunset. He's like, leave the condor on the table. He's like, fucking, no can do. I'm bringing him home. He's like, no, you're not bringing him home.
That's an order.
I like how it's like the condor's flying at sunset, and then like they're like fucking talking in code, and the guy's like, no. He's like, but they're gonna kill him. the Germans are going to kill him. It's like, dude, not talking in code anymore, bro.
I love it. Yeah. Yeah, it's not that important.
And they're fucking standing on top of the bank building in Berlin with a helicopter. It's like a Vodafone commercial spinning around. It's just like, what went wrong? Nothing.
He takes a chair, throws it off the building. God damn it!
I love it, dude. I don't know, man. Like the more we talk about this, the more I'm enjoying taking the piss out of it. It's not a take the piss kind of a movie, but it's really fun to take the piss out of. It's just, I don't know.
We're mining that particular angle.
Yeah, that's the angle we're going for.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, the whole Vodafone commercial.
You know what I mean? For a limited time only, get one phone for $65 on a 2-year contract. Call Vodafone.
Well, that's yeah, that would be a piece of content worth making. Slicing that part of the movie out, doing a VO and adding some graphics in.
I want to like
for Vodafone.
Take it where Brad Pitt throws the chair off. It's like throwing a Vodafone bag off, and then it like lands in someone's hand down on the ground.
That's all your hand, dude. Oh my god, that is so funny. Well, there's a nugget attached to that. Okay, so there's a couple of nuggets actually attached to that. So Tony Scott was nervous, firstly, about working with Redford because he knows Redford is a director, blah, blah, blah. And then he really wanted to do this helicopter shot for the rooftop scene. And the producers would not give him the money for it. But he was like, I've got to have my shot. So he goes out and fucking... You ready for this?
I'm ready.
I can't even say it, dude. He rents a helicopter out of his own pocket for
$2 million.
$2 million? Seriously, dude. He rents a helicopter out of his own pocket. And then the other nugget is that Robert Redford said he was utterly, or something to this effect, he was utterly confounded about why he was trying to shoot this rooftop shot with the helicopter. And then when he saw it later on, he realized what a great idea it was and how, it would make a good Vodafone commercial. Exactly.
Yeah.
And a very dynamic Vodafone commercial. So those are the two nuggets sort of attached to that rooftop scene. And I mean, to be fair, even though it does look like a Vodafone commercial, it's a very cool shot.
It's a dynamic shot.
He did it right. I mean, it's a very kind of a Tony Scott thing to do. Like everything has to be action, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But it was cool, and I think it came out good. It was a cool shot. The way he was able to kind of just circle around that. The two of them on that. On that circular rooftop. Oh, Vodafone.
I don't know.
Anyway.
I'm actually like enjoying that we're taking the piss.
Me too.
Sometimes I get precious about taking the piss because it's like, I love this movie. Don't make fun of it. But this time it's just kind of
I get that way. I was really that was my national treasure moment, dude. I was like that was national treasure.
Yeah, you're a bit butthurt on that one. That's okay.
You guys tricked me.
We fucking dragged that thing behind the car, man. It was
you bad. Did, and I was talking to a friend who listens to the show, and we were talking about that movie, and I was like, yeah. I was like, those guys tricked me. They're like, yeah, let's do this movie. And then when we watched the movie, you guys were like, this movie sucks.
I mean, to be fair, it did.
No, it did not. It's still amazing. And I just watched it again last night and this morning. Anyway, I know what you mean. But it's weird because I like this movie a lot too, and I've seen it many, many times. But I am enjoying taking the piss out of it, but at the same time, I'm also enjoying recognizing the parts that are great about the movie too. And there's also some things here that I hadn't really thought of until we started talking about it. So I always find that very interesting too. So ipso facto, here we are.
Yeah.
So I think to pick up from a thought that I was working on before, I could make a case that there's too many threads in this movie that it's too complicated and there's not enough time to tell the story. Like, I read another nugget that Tony Scott really wanted to do, like, flesh out the entire love, like, kind of romantic relationship between Bishop's character and Elizabeth Hadley, or Bishop and Elizabeth Hadley. And the producers were like, yeah, no, we're not doing that. And, you know, just taking the comment that I just made into account, like, I almost feel like more with the two of them would have lent more gravity to really what's happening at the end of the movie. Because, you know, we know that he, like, you know, he quits Nathan and he's just like, you're a jerk, man. I'm out of here, you know?
Fuck
And
your rules,
he's like,
Nathan.
yeah, fuck your rules. I'm going to go chase the love of my life, you know? And interesting pick for the love of your life. But I think if they had added more there, it would have lent more gravity to not the end of the movie, but the sort of the end game goal of the movie, right? The end game, the goal of the movie is he's trying to get Tom out of prison. Tom went into the prison to rescue Hadley because,
which is Muir's
presumably fault. Okay, fair enough. Well, okay, yeah, there you go. Even more so. So he presumably has fallen in love with her, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Or, you know, wants to start some kind of life with her. And it's like, you know, the thing that's cool about Bishop's character is that he's got heart, man. He's got a lot of heart. And he, you know, for the times that, like, he's kicking the East German guy out of the car, he's a Boy Scout. I mean, his code name is Boy Scout. That's what they call it. Yeah, he has principles and he's got heart, man. And he is about doing the right thing. So I think that, you know, if the ultimate point is to, like, get Tom out of there and her at the same time, sort of, like, I think fleshing out the romantic part of the movie would have lent a lot more to that. You know what I mean? Because if you go back to my previous comment where I was saying, like, you almost get lost in, like, the flashbacks and all of this stuff, and it's all very interesting, man. And then you can get lost in the poker game that's going on inside CIA headquarters. So it's like, it's almost, like, easy to forget that, like, oh wait, the whole point of all of this bullshit is getting Tom out of the prison, right? And you know, thusly getting Elizabeth out of the prison as well.
And
you know
Tom's
what I mean?
there because of the relationship. Yeah,
exactly. And Muir was the one that kind of got it to that point. So
there's
a lot of really cool interconnected threads. I think what I'm trying to say is that based on that nugget, that, you know, he wanted to add more showing them having a romantic relationship. I think that would have lent more to that. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And thusly, what I'm saying is that, you know, it's almost like the movie's not long enough. I mean, it clocks in at just over 2 hours, and it's like, you probably could have added more stuff in, and it definitely wouldn't have detracted from anything. It would have made it even more interesting than it already was, because it's a great story, man. And it's a cool setup. There's not a ton of movies like this, I think, you know, like stories like this, rather. I mean, I could be completely talking.
No, you're right. Like, there's a million movies in the same flavor, but this specific thing, like, it's kind of a one of a kind. Yeah, I mean,
and it's also it's this Tony Scott structure as well that makes it cool. You know,
I tend to agree. I would like to rephrase what you said. Like, the Elizabeth Hadley, Tom Bishop thing is, like, kind of the heart of the movie, and Brad Pitt having principles and having those principles kind of erode over time to the point where he's like, I'm out of here, is kind of the heart of the movie. But there is some deleted scenes on YouTube that have some of the expanded relationship stuff, and it's fucking not good.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and, like, to the point where, like, I'll say what it is, and then it's, like, almost just setting it aside immediately. But, like, there's a scene with Nathan Muir and Hadley where he goes and visits her in the refugee camp, and it's basically like, remember that time we used to fuck a lot and our relationship didn't work out, you know? And then, like, it cuts to Bishop being like, did you sleep with her? So, like, it's this completely fucking ridiculous, like, side thing.
Wow.
That, like, it's stupid as shit.
That sounds stupid.
So, like, I'm glad they cut that, because I think that's really, like, it's like just even to give the benefit of the doubt, it doesn't make any sense for the characters to be that intertwined, because also later, one of the dudes in the CIA ops room, there's a scene with Muir and him basically being like, we need to fucking bag Hadley. What are you going to do about it, Nathan Muir? So, like, it's like, it doesn't make any sense for all of these characters to be so intertwined like that. Like, just, it's super implausible. So setting that aside, I personally like that it doesn't really lean too heavily into the relationship stuff, just because, like, all you need to know is they care about each other, and that's enough, because he's got principles, I guess. But I, like, if handled well, I could see it being good. And I definitely vibe with what you're saying, where, like, it's kind of lost with the wham bam editing and the wham bam way that it's all sliced together, but I guess the reason I'm hesitant is because if you watch the deleted scenes, a lot of the deleted scenes flesh out different pieces of the story, and, like, all of them should have been deleted, and I'm glad they were, because it's just, like, it fucks the pacing so hard,
I'm with you 100%. I wish you'd never told me that, actually, but, like, because, like, whatever was shot that was horrible sounds like it should have been left on the cutting room floor.
Yeah.
I'm talking about something good, something different. And it doesn't have to be a lot, man. If you could do
a conversation. Like it could have been the two of them having a conversation about a future or something like that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, like, movie minutes are like dog years, right?
Yeah.
So, like, in terms of, like, movie minutes, you could spend 3 to 5 in a movie and add 5 minutes to the total runtime, and you could have a lot going on
the two of them
having
a conversation at a fucking restaurant somewhere could have made a difference there,
Well, something tasteful, because, like, the movie, it's weird. Like, a lot of what's going on with a lot of the characters is fueled by passion in the movie.
Yeah, that's it.
And so it would fit. You know what I mean? Like Hadley's character is super passionate about what she's doing and the activism and, like, the whole thing with the bomb and all that. And, like, Brad Pitt is very passionate about what he's doing.
Side of the doctor, coin.
Exactly. But the doctor they recruit, they're playing on his passions. He's running off his passion. It's his parents, like, da-da-da-da-da. Like, there's so much of that going on in this movie. And I think it's absolutely one of the strengths of the movie. So if they could somehow have, like, shored up that with, like, a little bit more exposition about them having a relationship that might have lent more gravity to the sort of overall arc of the movie, which is like, hey, we're rescuing these people, remember?
That's it. I was kind of hesitant to bring it up, but it fits where, in a really weird way, like, I married Elizabeth Hadley.
What?
Minus
Wait a
the
second.
Chinese
It's
blowing up the building thing
first.
Well, just in the sense that, like, I was in a place that wasn't a conflict zone, but it had some similar situations going on, and, like, Em was working in orphanages and doing some work with people in need, similar to Elizabeth Hadley. And I think maybe the missing piece is, like, so the reason I bring it up is because, like, I might be a bit biased here because it hits a bit close to home for me. But well, just in the sense, like, maybe I'm talking out of my ass, but, like, or I'm biased. But I think that maybe the missing piece that you're talking about is the Hadley helping people. Like, there are some scenes with the doctor working with people that have just got their fucking arms blown off, and Hadley's helping and or bringing drugs to or whatever.
Yes.
And, like, Tom Bishop is super hard, and I could see, like, a scenario where Bishop is hardened but has ideals and sees Hadley helping, and it kind of, like, it softens him that little bit, and like that angle, I think, is the angle. Yeah, because it's like,
I'm with you, man.
Having seen that myself, like, it's a very endearing thing. You like, it's like it's a situation where, like, putting myself in Tom Bishop's shoes as an espionage person, like, you're like, fuck this, the world is so fucked. Like, we need to do this for America and all the Boy Scout ideals. But you get so hardened to it that, like, seeing someone like a Hadley and being like, actually, that there is a reason to help. Like, it's okay to help. Like, it kind of erodes that America fuck yeah and at any costs stuff, you know?
Yes. He's like looking at her and he's like, dude, I'm over here just freaking grifting, man. And she's like actually getting bloody, dodging bombs, trying to get medicine to these people to help out. You know what I mean?
And he has glimmers of it, you know, with the German guy in the car kicking him out. Like, he doesn't want to do it. He wants to get the guy across the border.
I know.
He doesn't realize that he's being played the whole time, so he throws a chair off the Vodafone commercial. Like, cool.
Yeah.
And then later with the doctor, you know, like, Muir hires these Lebanese militia fuckheads, and Bishop's like, I'll get him there, trust me. And he does get him there, but it doesn't matter, you know? So like, he's trying to do, I don't know, maybe not the honorable thing, but he's trying to do the best thing with the scenario that he's got. So like, you could see how he would be attracted to the Hadley who fucked up in her past but is trying to help, you know?
Totally. 100%, man. I mean, look, dude, I don't hate activism, okay, Chad? All right?
That's not what I'm saying. I guess what I'm saying is it's a really interesting angle. You know, it's like you don't normally come across that in an espionage film. The espionage movies are almost always either ultra patriotic or ultra cool. Or ultra action. They don't normally cover how fucked up the conflict zone environments are or the aid environments are. And so like it hits home for me. I don't know if it hits home for you, but like I think it's a great layer in there.
No, I think it's an absolute great layer. It's an absolute strength of the movie, dude. And I think that, you know, a lot of those like what you're saying about espionage movies, like they're always about like, you know, forbidden love,
the greater good,
like or love lost, or like, you know, oh, we had sex once, I think I love you, but it's like I'll never see you again because I'm a super spy, or whatever, dude. Like this is not doing that. This is definitely, as much as like Redford and Redford's character, the cool CIA guy, are kind of not grounded in reality sometimes. There's a lot of this that is sort of more grounded in the reality. And I'm not really speaking to like all the espionage stuff as much as I am like what you were just saying about how, you know, the sides they're showing of like these various different situations, you know what I mean? Like East Germany and and Beirut and Lebanon, you know what I mean? So, I like that. And yeah, I think it is an absolute strength of the movie, dude. And
that plays into their relationship. Being the heart.
It does, and that's why my comment, you know, if it was more tastefully done with like a 5-minute thing, it would have just only strengthened what we already have here, which is a great, strong story.
Because there is like a 1-second clip where Bishop goes to get the doctor because he's let the doctor go to the camp to help when they need to go and kill the sheik or whatever his name was, and you know it shows you Hadley and she's like covered in blood, fucking helping, you know what I mean? And like, I think just that, like seeing her sleeves rolled up, helping in that regard, not just delivering medicine. Like that's the thing. Like that's the thing I think that Bishop would appreciate, you know? Cause like the Boy Scout thing, like having ideals is like your ideals get worn away, you know? And him having his ideals worn away is totally realistic. And he would see her and be like, actually, this person's trying to swim against the current, you know? And I think that's the thing. Because like my opinion also, like I had ideals when I landed in Port-au-Prince, and by the time I left, they were very fucking different. You know what I mean? Like it's like a completely realistic thing that, you know, ideals are fine, but when you actually hit a situation, whether it's in an aid environment or whether it's politics or whatever, like your ideals when they actually meet with reality are very fucking different things. And so, yeah, that him seeing her as swimming against the current, I think would be the attractor and worthy of saving from a fucking Chinese prison, you know?
Yes. And I think that when he does see her with the blood, that is exactly what is happening there.
Yeah.
It's like, he's like, oh shit. You know what I mean? Like, she's doing some real work here, and you could tell that he's like.
She looks at him like, "What the fuck?" She knows what he's doing too, taking the doctor.
Exactly, dude. Yeah. Exactly, and that's when he starts feeling like a douche, and like you can tell that he's just kind of like, gotta go kill this guy.
Yeah, across
you
the
know
lines.
what I mean? Like, Yeah, definitely. So I don't know.
Well, and he has the same thing when
Interesting.
Redford hands the doctor the photos of his dead parents. Like you can, I think Pitt acting in that sequence is trying to show his discomfort. You know, like he's just like, we're fucking playing this guy. You know, like it seems way more plausible than not that the information that Redford's feeding to the doctor isn't true. You know, of being
It's
like,
100% plausible. What do you mean? It's totally made up,
yeah.
right? Don't you think? I
I
always
do,
thought that
yeah.
was
I
made
mean,
up.
even if you don't, even if it turns out that, you know, the Sheik is partially responsible, like it's just Pitt just being like, fuck, man, you know, like he's played this doc who just, you know,
Mhm.
that actor, it turns out did all of his lines phonetically, like he didn't speak English, which I thought was really interesting, a little nugget there. And like he's such a, I don't know, like a perfect casting for that doc. He seems like so. He's got like that like puppy dog innocence, but like hardened at the same time. Like he seems like such a genuine person, you know. Like they're just fucking
Oh my
him
god,
so
that
hard.
guy! That guy was. He's awesome, man. And he's like Ken Watanabe. He learned the lines phonetically because he does not
Yeah,
speak a word of English.
he was like
You
Bardem
know,
back in
so
the day.
yeah, kind of. Oh, is that how Bardem was? as
Yeah,
well?
yeah, back in the day. Yeah, I think the Chigurh
Before,
role for No Country was all phonetic for him. I think.
really?
Yeah,
And then he became the Lisan Al Gaib, and
and then
he
he
learned
became the
English.
Lisa Nugget. Yeah, Stilgar. Same with what's her name, Anna de Armas from
Totally.
Blade Runner 2049. It's interesting how often
Get
that
out of
happens.
here!
Yeah,
Really?
yeah,
But
for
now
a
she's
lot of
done
her
a ton of
roles.
movies in it.
Yeah, I mean,
She's
she
done a
learned
lot of
English,
movies
you
in
know. Like
English.
I don't know.
Hey, I'm learning English tomorrow.
Give me a job. But
Give me a
the doc was perfect,
job.
man. He was
That guy was excellent,
just
man.
fucking perfect.
Just like, when you talk about actors and portraying emotion and all this sort of thing, like that guy just brings the 10-ton hammer with it, dude. Like you can just see all of the emotion and pain in his expressions when he's in the very few scenes that he's in, dude. It's absolutely awesome, man. Yeah, he's great.
I buy it though, you know, like a little bit more lovey-dovey stuff handled the right way. But I think like at the end of the day, the heart of the movie being Bishop, Hadley to a degree, and Muir having his own journey there, like it's the heart of it. Like all the actiony bullshit, dialogue bullshit, chess game bullshit aside, like that's why it's a great movie, I think.
Yeah.
And then the other layers that I just said, plus the like, we get to go back to East Germany, we get to go back to Vietnam to a degree, we get to go back to Beirut and like see it through the lens of the time with the periods accurate stuff. Like I appreciate, like as a history buff and a geopolitics buff and an espionage buff, like it's just it's great to. I don't know, maybe like part of it is like I like really like seeing a somewhat realistic environment of the 70s in Lebanon and, you know, whatnot.
Absolutely. Oops. No, I agree. And those bits were so well done, and it was great. I did find it a little bit odd that like oh my god, I almost called him Tom Cruise. Brad Pitt was he recruited him in 75, and then it wasn't until quote many years later that he, not recruited him. He had him kill that guy in Vietnam in 75, and then he didn't get out for many years. Then he offered him the job after he spent all this time like blah blah blahing him. And then later when they show him training, Bishop's still got the full on like, Bruce Jenner haircut and the 70s collars going on, and it's clearly got to be like the 80s, dude. Like
Early 80s.
I found.
I mean, you're only gonna do a 2-year tour,
niggle.
so I suppose the Nam thing wouldn't have been super long, but
maybe.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe
it felt more 70s for me. Like I just didn't think too hard about it.
Definitely.
But the fall of the Berlin Wall stuff, like I was in fucking elementary school for that. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't the 70s.
No, I remember that vividly.
Yeah,
the
same.
Berlin Wall was in 91, right?
Yeah, exactly. I would have been 11 years old or whatever at that time. So I very much remember it.
Oh, yeah. So do I, dude. Just like the Challenger exploding. I was in fourth
We
grade.
watched that. Fifth grade classroom. Okay, everyone, we're gonna watch that. I was just sitting there, fucking in elementary school, like this is cool. What's
What,
that?
the Berlin
Turn
Wall?
the TV. No, the Challenger. We watched it in fucking school. That was horrible.
We watched it live in school.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I watched it. I was fucking 5 years old, 6 years old.
All right. So what? You want to wrap this up or what?
Yeah, I don't know. What else? Bits and bobs, I guess.
I don't know. It's 9:45. The whole movie was a bit and bob. The whole episode's a bit and bob. Deaths.
Gladys was cool, man. I liked the the interplay with her, and the burn bag stuff, and she gets him a scotch, and like this, it's very, I don't know, Mad Men secretary bullshit. They're best buds, but they also work for each other. Shit, like I don't know. She was great. She was a great choice from casting, and she had some great quips.
Yeah, no, I thought she was great. I really liked the whole dynamic there. I don't know. I didn't find it too. I thought Too Cool for School Redford was more sort of whatever than that whole relationship. But yeah, I thought she was great. Like paging her, and she's like down in the coffee shop calling her on the phone.
Sees her in the elevator and stuff.
Yeah, totally. Wait, what? The elevator?
Yeah, like she says goodbye, and there's a bottle of scotch, and burns the burn bag or whatever, and he's supposed to be leaving because it's his last day, but he never leaves the building. He sleeps in the couch, and then he just like walks on an elevator, and she's like, he's like, tell my wife if she calls that I'm up in ops, or whatever. And she's like, okay, dude.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's right. That was the only way he could finish, was to not leave.
Yeah.
Cool.
Which doesn't make any sense at all, but
why?
You'd think that if it's like your clearance is for this day, like security would know the clock ticks over and it's time for you to go, bro. Like old mate hasn't checked out.
Yeah, they'd have probably hunted him down and dragged him out of there, man.
Yeah, they would
probably.
have. There's a little bit of letting that kind of shit go.
Bits and bobs. What else?
The Boy Scout sniper mission. Hell of a ad for the Boy Scouts. Very
what?
Army-esque, when Muir's, they're gonna leave Bishop behind during the snipe mission, and then he sees him out of the corner of his eye, and they turn around the helicopter and they fly in, and Bishop's got the dude over his shoulder, and he's like, "Hell of an ad for the Boy Scouts." It's very kind of Tom Clancy esque.
Yes, yeah, it is a little bit. As I mentioned before, shout out to Benedict Wong. Loved seeing him in there.
We got to make sure we shout out Charlotte Rampling, the Cathcart affair, man.
I mentioned her at the beginning, but yes, Charlotte Rampling in the Cathcart affair.
That's another
Zardoz.
Of Zardoz. There's another moment there that's very fitting with your Muir dialogue, where he's like, she gives him shit for having the young girl with him. He's like, "Oh, I could be your mother or whatever. You could be your father." And then she like,
dude,
hits
that girl
on
looked
him.
like she was fucking 16.
10 years old.
Jesus Christ. She was
Charlotte Rampling's like, "Why don't we go hang out?" And he's like, "No, I need to be near the phone." He's like, "Are you moving someone across the border?" And he's just like, wink, wink. And then she just like turns around and walks off. It was like, okay, don't make it too fucking obvious.
I know, but that was the thing. Those were the things that were bothering me. Things obvious, like that. Is that like that happened with her, but there were other parts like in the headquarters and whatnot. Yeah. They were so obvious. It was like, dude, really? Like, that's not sneaky. You know what I mean? Like,
that's it.
It's like Jim Carrey pretending the lights are off in Ace Ventura 2, dude. You know what I mean? It was like, it had the same kind of feel to it. Like, she's like working on a Saturday night, and then she gives him a peck on the cheek and she walks off. It's like, it's so obvious she's going to go blab to somebody. You know what I mean? Like, give me a break, man. That girl was fucking, I'm sorry, dude. She looked like she was
10,
under 18, and old California raisin there, who's had the same haircut in every movie for the last 30 years. No fucking way. Too creepy, too weird. Sorry.
Totally with you.
From Giblet Chin to California Raisin. That's the title of the episode.
I know I'm dead wrong here, but I am like,
what? Who cares?
My headcanon, like I'm telling myself that the East German dude that he kicks out of the car is Steamboat Willie from Shaving Ryan's.
Dude, get the hell out of here.
It's not him. But I for years I was like, is that him?
Dude, I literally said that as I was watching it
Did
today.
you? I love it.
I saw the guy and I was like, that guy is so familiar. And I said, I don't remember what he's from. And then out of come of my mouth, Steamboat Willie, toot toot.
I'm convinced it's him, man. I don't think it is, but I want it to be him.
I don't think it is either, but he's from something, man.
Anyways.
I could easily waste an hour looking this
I love
up,
it.
dude.
I love him.
I know. That German guy. That guy had a name. What was his name?
In the movie, I have no idea.
Oh, come on, you jerk.
No idea. It's not a bitter Bob, but like similar to our conversation about Clear and Present Danger. This movie was shot before September 11th, so like it kind of is a snapshot in time of attitudes before the world changed, which I find kind of interesting.
Dude, he isn't Saving Private Ryan.
And it's not him. It's not him, is it?
It is. Yeah, it's not the Steamboat. I don't know if it's the Steamboat Willie guy. It might be though, dude.
What's his name?
His name in this movie, his name is Frederick Schmidt. And oh my God, get ready to start wanking, dude.
You wanking?
I'm serious,
dude. It is him.
It says his name. It says right here, Saving Private Ryan, 1998. You know how it has like the tiles under filmography?
Steamboat Willie.
It says Steamboat ... It's him, dude.
Steamboat Willie. Oh my God, I'm so vindicated. For like
Dad's
20 years
dream
now.
came true.
I'm like, it's totally Steamboat Willie. Oh my God, I love that.
Guy? It is the same guy. He is Steamboat Willie.
Well, we're not going to come up with a bitter Bob better than that, so we should just we should wrap it up right here.
I agree. I don't really have any more.
I had a nug. You sniped my battleship with the $2 million nug. That was glorious.
The $2 million nug?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was good.
But there was another one. Oh yeah, this one's good. You mentioned Dale Dye earlier, so one of Bishop's cover wives is identified as Peggy Dye, and Dale Dye, who is Commander Wiley in this, was married to Margaret, which makes her Peggy Dye, which I think is like a cool little shout out to Dale Dye.
I like that too, man.
I love me some Dale Dye.
Yeah,
I think Dale Dye was probably. I was probably introduced to him through Band of Brothers, I would say, but
I would say
tangentially related to Shaving Ryan.
Yeah. Shaving Ryan, yeah. Him and Arlie Ermy both are legit military guys, ex-military guys, and they just bring a lot of realism to those roles. I like them.
Yeah, I love Dale Dye. Shout out to Dale Dye.
Okay. Shout out to Dale Dye. Only nugget. I dropped most of my favorite nuggets already. And then you dropped one at the beginning of the show that Robert Redford is actually a California raisin. But this nugget is great. I still can't believe it, dude. Brad Pitt turned down the lead role in the Bourne Identity in order to star in this movie,
which is interesting, man. That's such because they are different, but they fit with that, like, it's almost like the 28 Days Later style zombie movie. Like, both of these are like slightly different styles of the espionage movie, Bourne and this. And I love
focus
both.
on same here, and they both focus on different parts of espionage.
Yeah. I mean, I think Brad Pitt could have done fine with Bourne, but like, I love Matt Damon as Bourne, dude.
No way. I don't.
That,
I mean, he could have done it, sure, yes, but Matt Damon is Jason Bourne. Period.
Yeah.
Brad Pitt would have been Brad Pitt in that movie. Matt Damon is fucking Jason Bourne. And the cool thing too about Damon is that Damon was kind of not huge at the time.
Yeah, it certainly wasn't action at the time.
No, and like they had done, I don't know if they had. Did we have Good Will Hunting already? Because that's what kind of catapulted him and Affleck out when they wrote that script. They got the Oscar for the screenplay, and the movie was amazing, and it came out, I think, in the 90s, but
97, Good Will Hunting.
Right? He still wasn't like massive. He certainly wasn't like a massive action star or anything like that. So I think that's part of why Bourne Identity works so well, and then why subsequent Bourne films as well.
Yeah.
And so I think, like, yes, Brad Pitt could have done it, of course, but I think Matt Damon's better. And he's better in this, you know?
Bourne Identity, 2002. Yeah, so that's post.
Yeah. Post Good Will Hunting.
Post Ryan, too. Like, he was Ryan, dude.
He was Ryan, that's correct. And that was 98.
Post Ocean's 11. I love Ocean's 11. Did I remember correctly that you weren't a huge fan of the remake of Ocean's 11?
Dude, the only one I like is the one everybody hates. I like Ocean's 12 the best, and everybody thinks that one sucks the most.
Yeah, I agree.
I need to watch it. I should watch it again. No, it doesn't, dude. Ocean's 12 is the best one.
Ocean's 12 is all right.
You suck. Ocean's 12 is great. It's got, what's his face? Toulour in it. Vincent Cassel's. It's fantastic, man.
I love Vincent Cassel.
Yeah. It's got George Clooney and Julia Roberts living in East Haven, Connecticut. It's great.
It's got Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Catherine Zeta-Jones.
with her cancerous vagina.
Cancer.
I got cancer of the larynx.
Anyway,
that's it, man. No more nugs.
All right. No more nugs. We have no deaths because we have no deaths.
Oh
well. And then as far as this movie goes, what's your final thought on the movie?
My final thought, if you want to watch a easy movie that's a fun ride that's also pretty fucking solid in terms of like layers, and you're into like espionage shit, like this is the movie for you, dude. Like I think this one is more popcorny than Clear and Present Danger, for example. Like if you're in the movie for just like a whatever, really? Tomorrow Never, Days After Tomorrow, fucking Tom Cruise, Emily Blunt. Like if you're in the mood for like something that just like you can just watch like without having to think too hard, I think this is just great. But you can also watch it if you want to think hard, you know, like same with like it's like you could have it on in the background, or you could watch it balls to the wall, or you could show somebody who's never seen it and like it fits all of those bills, you know?
Sure.
Whereas like a Tinker Tailor is just you need to be in the right space for it, as you know, because you haven't finished it. You know, like you need to be in the right headspace for a lot of these kind of movies, and like this one you can just fucking throw on, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. I would have said that Clear and Present is the more popcorn of the two films, but yeah, whatever. I can see that. I can see what you're saying. This is definitely a recommend. Watch this movie.
Yeah, totally.
If you haven't seen it, watch the movie. I mean, look, for all the reasons that we said, including, you know, like I feel like the Redford bit in the performance, especially the soundtrack. So while I found Redford, some of his stuff to be a little hackneyed in this and I still think this is like it's a cool story with like a lot of layers, and I think that's the strength of the movie. And it's Tony Scott, who's awesome. So it clips along at a really great pace and all that kind of thing. And I would absolutely recommend this movie, as I will absolutely watch this movie multiple times in the future. There's no question about it. It's that good. It's a rewatchable movie.
In it. You have to watch it again.
Exactly. And it also came out in 2001, and it still holds up. And this is something we did not talk about at all. It still holds up perfectly.
23 fucking years. Dude, that's crazy.
23 years, exactly. So go watch the movie. It's great.
And how?
All right.
We'll close out with a bunch of dudes sitting around watching Baywatch.
There you go.
I'll be ready.
That was so great. He's like, okay, how about 100,000? The guy's like, he's like, he can't stop drooling over those boobs. Oh, that was great. What are we doing next week?
Next week, we're doing The Count of Monte Cristo.
Ooh.
One of our faves.
Okay, awesome. Yeah.
And a good twofer. Benny will not be with us next week, so another toof.
Sounds good.
And I'm looking forward to it.
Well, I'm excited. And thanks for joining us for this 2001 classic, Spygame. And I'm Kev saying so long for now, folks.
Bye.
And that's going to wrap up this week's episode, folks. If you'd like to check out the show notes for this episode, you can do so in your podcast app of choice or at our website, ebd.fm/episodes/251. If you'd like to support the show, folks, you can do so in a number of wonderful ways. Let me start that over. We'd like to take a second and thank everybody for supporting us low these many years via Patreon, word of mouth, or leaving us reviews. We really appreciate it. And for anybody that's interested in supporting us further, you can do just that. You can tell people you know to check out the show. You can leave us a great review somewhere, iTunes, Spotify, what have you. And you can also support us directly on Patreon. And then, of course, if you'd like to join in on the fun in-between episodes, you can join us on Instagram. We use the handle @EBD Podcast everywhere. And that's it. Thanks for joining us for Everywhere.
Bring me everyone.
Everyone! Thanks for joining us for Spygame. We'll see you next week. So long for now, folks.
Beady, beady, beady. Stop into it. Freedom.